Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Genesis if you are new here, and today's video is going to be on this makeup tutorial. Today I wanted to play with some color, some green. I talk a little bit about my beauty predictions for the year in beauty and like basically what's going to be trending. And so if you guys are interested in seeing how to get this feathery, greeny, earth tone vibes as well as hearing some of my predictions in beauty for the upcoming year, then just keep on watching. All right, so the first color we're going to start off with is a nice like yellowy golden color. It's what I'm going to be using all over the crease area. It's a very, very subtle color, but it's a color that will still pop out underneath the green, and it's a good transition color. It will also blend nicely with the gold that I'm going to put in the center. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip into the green color. This is the green I'm going to be using first. This little palette is from Solange Cosmetics. I will have everything listed down below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to focus this on the outer corner first. Again, it is a very, very light color, very subtle. I don't know if you can even tell on the camera, but it is what's going to help us build up that green. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip into this darker green color. This one is from MAC Cosmetics. It is in the shade Velvet Moss, and it's just like a darker, earthier green. And I'm taking a flat brush and I'm just dipping it in there. And I'm just gonna pack it on to the outer and inner corner, and then I will blend it out after. Color is a lot deeper and it has a lot more color payoff, so it is definitely showing up a lot more. It's important to first pack it on with a flat brush, just because this color is so strong, and we are working in the inner and outer corner, so you kind of want to be precise about it. We can go ahead and just use a blending brush and sort of try to like connect the two together. What I like to do is like while I'm like blending it out, I like to use my blending brush and dip into that Velvet Moss again, and then just kind of like compact it in the outer corner, but also blending it out. We're kind of getting like a elongated effect. I feel like all of these tones are going to be so big in 2020. That's kind of my prediction. I feel like a lot of earthy tones, a lot of mattes are going to be coming back. I'm going to use a shimmer today for the gold center, but I do feel like mattes are going to make a huge comeback, very much like the 90s. It's going to be like very mattified. I think we're still going to be very focused on skin. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the last few years, makeup is all about like skin and dewiness, and you know, we're so into skincare nowadays. And I think we're still going to be very focused on that, but we're gonna be using a lot more like matte colors to the eye. And the reason I just think that it's gonna be a lot of like earthy tones is because I feel like everything happening right now in the world with climate change, you know, beauty and fashion and all those things, kind of just like trends essentially come from what's going on in the world, in music, in news, in anything. It is kind of like a reflection of what's happening. And so I think that with everything happening to our planet recently, it's gonna also be like shown and portrayed in beauty. I think there's gonna be a lot more clean beauty products coming out. I think that's gonna be a huge thing for brands, which is great. I think there's gonna be a lot of like clean beauty products coming out, more so than already. And there's gonna be like a lot of like nude tones in fashion and in beauty. A lot of like color, a lot of greens, blues. I think that blue is gonna be a huge color this year. The Pantaloon color of the year is actually like a royal blue this year, and I think that is like an allude to like, you know, our oceans and everything going on. And yeah, everything just kind of is a trend, guys. It's all just followed by other events that are happening in the world at the moment. Right, so now with the exact same flat brush, since we already used it for that green in our inner and outer corners, I'm going to go ahead and top this bluey color. It's called Steamy, and it is from MAC Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna pack that right on top of it. Now I'm gonna take the exact same flat brush that I used when I was applying the green eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna spray some Marabedesco onto the brush. The reason I'm spraying the spray is so that I could get more pigment on it and then just show up a lot more brighter on the eyelid. Just packing that on outer and inner corners. It's totally fine if you have some fallout, because we're just gonna go ahead and clean up the face after. That's why I always recommend doing your eyeshadow, especially when you're working with colors like this, to do all of your face stuff after. And I'm gonna show you guys a trick at how easy it is to just clean everything up. I highly recommend wetting the brush as well if you suffer from dry skin. If you guys didn't know already, or if you're like new here, I have very dry skin, and especially in the winter time, I know that everyone generally does, but it helps out so much. Oftentimes the eyelid can get very dry, especially if you put on like certain eyeshadows, and then like a dry eyelid does not look cute, especially when you're putting on all of these nice colors. So sometimes if you wet it, it'll keep your eye very like hydrated, and it won't look as cakey. So if you guys suffer from that, I would definitely try out wetting your eyeshadow brushes. It will not only look a lot bolder and like more colorful, it will also keep your eye very hydrated and moist. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take some concealer on a flat brush. I'm going to go ahead and carve out the center of my eye. You kind of want to follow like your general eye line, or like where the eyeshadow meets. Typically, I would suggest focusing a larger amount of the, imagine it as like a triangle. You want to focus the top base part at the top, and then go into a narrower kind of like, you know what I mean? What also helps me draw that like line is you kind of want to look at your eyelid like from the bottom. Like I kind of hold this mirror, and then you kind of want to see where your eye creases. And then you want to follow like that general line. I do try my absolute best to get them to look very similar, or as much as I can, but I do what I can, you know. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a gold color. This is a gold color I'm using today. It is from MAC. It is called GoldMine. I'm going to use the exact same brush that I just used to draw out that little center cut crease, and I'm going to go ahead and wet it a little bit and then dip into GoldMine. I'm just packing that where I put the concealer. All right, now comes, in my opinion, the hardest part, but it's not really that hard. You're gonna take like a blending brush, a smaller one, and you're gonna dip into Velvet Moss, which is that dark forest green color we originally used. And we're gonna try to like diffuse the harsh lines happening here between the gold and the green, just so it doesn't look so choppy. So that it looks like the colors just marry each other and like really just blend in. Now, anytime you're doing this kind of look, this kind of like little halo eye look, you want to blend after you do that, and then you want to go back in with that same gold color and then kind of just pop that color out again, because as you can see, it definitely like diffused the color, me blending it out. But now we're just going to go in and subtly, very subtle, kind of just pop that color in again, but nothing too intense like the first time, just to like really pop out that yellow. Now it won't be so intense, so I kind of just use my brush and just use like this kind of motion, like down. You still want to keep that nice cut crease at the top where all the colors like kind of come together, you know? All right, now we are done for now. I know it still looks really crazy, but we're gonna go ahead and do our foundation. Now, even though I'm using all of these colors and everything, in the last few years, and especially I don't see it going anywhere for 2020, we're gonna be very focused on skin. So we are going to take our time with this. We're going to be focused very much on skin, nothing very matte. Everything is very dewy and glowy, so that's what we're gonna do with the rest of our face. I'm gonna be using this Ren Clean Skincare primer, and again, I feel like in 2020 there's going to be so many clean products coming out. This basically is a good primer if you're trying to minimize your pores. It gives you a very clean look, but at the same time it's very dewy and hydrating. It's nothing, you know, too fake or matte. I'm going to be taking my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This is a great foundation. If you have not tried it yet, I highly recommend it. It's been a go-to of mine for years now, and I've tried a lot of different foundations and I have a lot of other favorites. However, this is like one of those like classic staple foundations that, in my opinion, will always be around. Again, I have dry skin, so for me, when I'm looking at foundations, what I'm looking for is for there to be dewiness, comfortable. I don't want it to look cakey. It needs to stay on all day. And I feel like this foundation has all of the above. All right, so my little trick for all this color going on, you can just go ahead and you take your brush. I'm using this Real Techniques one when I'm applying my foundation, and you're gonna wanna like just sweep under the eye, just like that. Sweep. Kind of gently tugging away. And that will clean up a lot, but we will finish cleaning it right now with some concealer. That's what really does that like snatched look for me. All right, so essentially what I do is I take my concealer. Again, this is the NARS concealer. I'm in the shade Ginger. And then you go ahead and you sweep it under here, la la la. But right here, you wanna draw like a line, almost like you were drawing, almost as if you were drawing like a wing liner. And that is what's really going to help us clean everything up, and then also just give our eyeshadow a nice sharp edge. I often run through it with my finger as well. It's a softer touch, and it also just has more like precision. All right, so for this look, I do want it to look very natural. So I want to do a feathery look to my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and take a spoolie, and I'm going to take some Mario Badescu. I think earlier I said Fix Plus. I don't know why I said it Fix Plus. It's like Force of Habit. But anyway, so I take a spoolie, and then I go ahead and dip it into some soap. You want to make sure this is like really wet. We're going to go ahead and brush these up. And as you guys can tell, I have very, very long eyebrows. So I am going to pull them up, but I will be bringing them down a bit. I just want them to look a little feathery. All right, I know my eyebrows look a little crazy right now, but it is gonna photograph very nicely. I'm gonna do my under eyes. So for my under eyes, I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of that Velvet Moss again. And we're just gonna place it under the eye and kind of like connect it. And I'm doing the exact same thing to my inner and outer corners. And then in the center, I'm gonna also put some of that gold. So we're essentially doing the exact same thing on the lower lash line. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do lashes. These are the Ardell Whispies, and I think that these are finally reaching the end of their life. So this is probably going to be the last time that I use these. These are my favorite lashes just because I feel like they give such a natural wispy look. I'm going to take this bronzer from MAC. It is in the shade Medium Tan, and I'm going to just go ahead and add some definition to my cheeks right here. And add some blush. This one is in the shade Modern Mandarine. What a cute name. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same blush to kind of like sculpt my face a little. So we're going to start back here and then just add it to the cheeks, the apples of my cheeks. Lips, I'm taking this color Glossy Fawn. It is from L'Oreal. All right, so lastly, I wasn't gonna add eyeliner, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little wing just to like intensify the look a little bit more and just so it looks a bit more like cat eye. So I'm taking this eyeliner from REALHerMakeup. It is waterproof, and honestly, I'm pretty picky with my eyeliners, and this one is actually really good. Again, I will link everything down below. Check it out if you're on the hunt for a new eyeliner. It's a really cute brand. I like what they like stand for. It's like woman empowerment. All right guys, and that completes today's look. I think that there's going to be a lot of greens and blues this year. I'm really excited to play with more color this year. I feel like beauty is a form of expression, the same with fashion. And if color is calling your name, then you need to go for it. Just do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.